channeling the spell. This is going to be a Fire Raga. It doesn't kill somehow, and it kills Naya to land a kill. Oh my god! Here, apparently not, because she is going for the back line. This is instant casting. Might have a chance. It is it. What's up, everybody? My name is Kason. Welcome back to the WDL. This is Season 4, and it is the final week of the regular season, and this is the Heindler League, and these are the standings heading into that final week. We already know who the teams are that are going to be in the playoffs. However, some of these seeds can really shake up in this final week, so some of these battles are still very important, even though we know who will be the 6 teams participating. But let's take a look at the standings heading into it. We've got Impaler right now of 3-Laid Pants, currently sitting in first place. However, he does not have a fight this week, and he has officially clinched the 2nd seed. So even though he's in first place right now, because he has the best record, there's no possible way for him to finish first. He will always finish second no matter what. The reason for that is because the 2 teams that are currently tied for second, Xeno of Polarity and King of Kansas City Kings, are both 8-2 right now and face off against each other this week. Both of them have a head-to-head victory over Impaler, which means they have the tiebreaker. So whoever wins that battle will be the 1st seed, and Impaler will be the 2nd seed. Whoever loses, however, could be the 3rd or 4th seed, depending on other things and how they shake out. Dawn, currently of Inquisition, is sitting at 8-3, can finish anywhere between the 3rd and the 4th seed, I believe. I don't think he can finish any lower than that. Kayuma of Seas, currently sitting at 7-3. I think can get up to 4-3, but I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think he can fall any lower than 5th, as Oda Diver and Oda Diving School has officially clinched the 6th seed and cannot move up or down. The other 4 teams, though, are looking to play spoiler, looking to try and upset the standings a little bit, upset the apple cart, as Lucian Rams of Lone Shadows is at 5-5, Moggan Man of Dirty Slushy at 4-6, Dr. Dickhead of the Knob Goblins and Snark Arise from the Crashes, both currently sitting at 3-7. And it should be really interesting. We've got 4 fights for you guys today, though. It should be entertaining, and at the end of it, we'll take a look at the standings in the playoff bracket. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Kicking off the final week of the Heindler League here, we've got Lone Shadows, coached by Lucian Rams, who unfortunately will not be able to make the playoffs, but is looking to try and take Kayuma down a peg, maybe drop his seed a bit, as he is going to go with a double evasion team, with Shadowlynx, with Pissarro, and Lena to support here, as Shadowlynx is going to start running forward, encroaching on the enemy line here. Lena's going to start channeling a spell. What will it be? I'm not entirely sure, as it looks like the Vega TMR for Orlando here, as he is going to start walking forward. Keenblade coming out from the Lucio. Very, very interesting to see as the CT is up. The Deem's going to go with Treasures Hunter's Fortune, and you do wonder, is this an evasion team coming out from Kayuma with that TMR, or is it just the Vadim who can be pretty dodgy himself? Crest of the Black Lion going to come out from the Orlando, so he's got AP Auto Restore, he's got tons of AoE res. Light Blessing on the Lucio. We'll have to see here. Lucio can be quite effective versus dark units. We'll see how much a dark resist he actually does have. As Shadow Tether comes out, the stop does not land, which is pretty huge for Kayuma here. It looks like the Indomitable Spirit for the Pissarro going to get that courage, try and get that physical damage up as well, as it looks like Lena's going to get another opportunity to buff, and she's going to go with Pissarro's TMR. So she's going to use her own teammates. Trustmaster Sneak Attack from the Vadim does a ton of damage to the Shadowlynx, as it looks like Lena should be able to come in for a clutch heal, though. Cure 5 for 8,200 is enough to basically top her up to full. And what does Orlando go for? He is going to go for the Limit Break, so he's going to try and land this on both the Pissarro and the Lena. Does he have the accuracy to get it done here? And it looks like he lands the Berserk on the Lena. I can't see if he actually did damage to Pissarro. I'm pretty sure he dodged it. Yes, he did. But the Berserked support could be pretty huge here for Kayuma, as Pissarro's going to go Grease Lightning, going to pop the Limit Break. 11,000 damage, just absolutely murders the Lucio. He says, I don't need a damn 140. I am a very good unit regardless. Night Veil coming out from the Shadowlynx is going to land the blind on Vadim, which is pretty massive, I think. And this Berserked Lena tries to go up and smack the blind Vadim in the back, but he doesn't need to see, apparently, to dodge, but he does need to see to hit either one of these units. And it looks like Orlando is going to have to put his carry pants on to have a chance here. He's going to go Hollow Bolt Extreme. It'll take out the Lena, but she has re-raise, which basically just does her a favor here, as Pissarro is going to continue to dodge. And in this evasion war, it looks like Lucian Rams is getting the advantage. Shadowlynx up to bat again for another Shadow Tether, another unit attack resistance drop. Still no stop, so that is being prepped for very well by Kayuma, but Crimson Cuts from Pissarro, who absolutely pops off in that fight. Lucian Rams might not be heading to the playoffs, but he is going to end his season on a big old win. Congratulations to him. Next battle between Oda Dive School and the Knobgoblins is for pride here, as Oda Diver has already clinched the 6th seed, cannot go lower, cannot go higher. Dr. Dickhead will not be in the playoffs, but is looking to try and perform one more time here, as he is going with the Addison Rae team with the evasion unit Vistral. Can he get any work done here, as he's going to try and get that guaranteed hit nullification, the soul regram on both herself and the Vistral, as it looks like the double gunner plus Titus team is here for Odaiba. This has been his most impressive team over the last month and a half, I would say, as it looks like that regen is here for the Rugia, Immortal Spirit for the Titus. And the one problem for this team, for Dr. Dickhead, we've seen is it just lacks in damage unless Addison Rae is able to get there. But do they have enough dodges in the tank with this Vistral, with the guaranteed hit nullification, to be able to get around that? The only problem is Addison Rae did not get that off yet. Is she in range to get it on Vistral? It looks like she would be, but she's going to go for 11k jamming thrust, and just as I say they didn't have enough damage, she says, what the hell did you just say? I have plenty, so don't you worry about it. Elia Rundle is going to come in with a hail of bullets onto the Balo. 7k is a lot, and I think it even landed a frostbite. I'm pretty sure I saw that out of the corner of my eye here. Rugia come in with the Umber Bombardment is enough to take out the Vistral with the Rupture. He's going to drop, and it is now almost a 2v3. If Addison Rae can clean somebody up, Titus is going to go Saintly Fortress, going to give himself some hate, but buddy, you only have 1 HP. That's not going to do you a whole lot. Addison Rae might be able to come in and clean up this Rugia. No, she has to go for the standard attack, looking like a height range issue to be able to hit both at the same time. Fortunate for Rugia here, as Elia should be able to get more damage down onto this Balo with this incredible range here that she has. She should be able to take out the tank, proc the Courage at least, before he is able to turn into Super Balo. And is Rugia in range to hit him as well? I would think so, but apparently not. Goes for the arm shot, no disable, but that Rupture for 4k does so much damage. And Addison Rae needs to put in a lot of work here to have a moment, but looking at the turn order here, Rugia is going to get to go again because he did not have to move last time. And if the Balo doesn't have hate, which I think he only starts the fight with 3, that means Addison Rae's dead, but no, he decides to go for the Balo. So maybe, looks like, actually, I think he's running bow tie, which means he would start the fight at least with 6 hate, I believe. And now Super Balo is here. If Addison Rae can get a shot onto both of these units, this fight might not be over here, as it looks like he is going to get reflexed by the Elia. He finds the limit break, actually, and that reflex could be massive because it has a massive chance to slow, and honestly could turn the fight. We'll see if that reflex ends up being the difference, as a lot of damage onto the Rugia. The slow does land as well. Elia's going to get to go next, and does she take out the Balo or the Addison? My money would be on the Addison if it was me, but what does she go for? She's thinking about it. Taking her sweet time, the Eraser comes out. It's going to kill Super Balo, but that means that Addison Rae might have a chance. No, Elia Rundle is going to get a lap, and if she can kill here right here, that is going to be the difference in the fight. And I'm pretty sure that that means with the sharpshoot, the reflex was the difference in the fight. Guys, honestly, I think Dr. Dickhead would have taken that win if that limit break landed on Elia. Obviously, that's assuming that the slow lands. I don't know if Elia has any natural slow res, but without that reflex, if she gets slowed, I'm pretty sure she does not lap, and Addison Rae can just double kill from that range. So absolutely excellent fight. Obviously, Odaiba, congrats on the win, but very could have easily went both ways. So well done by both players here. We've got one more fight for you guys, just for shits and gigs, before we get into the final match. That is for all the marbles, and this is Snark versus Moggenman, and I expect a banger here, as it looks like Moggenman is running some katana strategies with the Dia, with the Laswell, also with Celis as the tank, and it looks like double greatsword plus the Time Mage for Snark, aka okay, I quit. As it looks like that Keen Blade coming out, Marguerite going to start channeling something. Is it going to be haste? Is it going to be quicken? We'll have to find out, as that physical barrier is here for the Dia. The guard haste is going to land onto Hio. Celis with the jamming thrust, starting things out. Damage spells turned on. Sometimes we see these turned off, but honestly, versus some of these physical units, it might be better for her to just try and get damage down onto this Hio here, as he starts things off onto the Celis for about 4k. Not a bad start. Dragon's Bloodline from the Esther. So instead of her marching forward to try and kill this Celis, she's just going to buff Marguerite going to come in with a Quicken, and Heal might be able to chain up with himself and do a ton of damage to this Celis here. Burning Drive is going to come in for 6,200, and she can only take one more, or rather can't even take one more. She will die to the next hit. Revitalize coming in from Moggen Man's Katana team, though, as the last well is ready to go. Dia is ready to go with the re-raise, and the backline is here to show up. Celis going to start with the Magic Burst, dropping that AoE resistance on both fire units, dealing good damage. Says, even though I'm a tank, I can put in a little DPS as well. Courage is here for the Esther, as she is going to start walking forward. Hio should be able to claim a kill onto the Celis, though, as the Soul Blade will wipe her out. And this is now a 3v2 in Snark's favor. But last wall, we have seen put in a lot of damage before. Can he do it again? Azure Sky with the Limit Break. Can he chunk through this Esther, who is known for being a good, physically bulky unit? 4,700 damage is pretty solid. Also guaranteed hit nullification. Dispel and Devastate is not quite enough to proc that Courage on the Esther, though, which means with Marguerite quickening the back, with Esther getting another opportunity, actually it's a Guard Haste instead of a Quicken, I think this could be bad news for Moggen Man, but however, no AP on the Hio here means Esther needs to double kill here, or else this could be pretty scary, actually. She's going to go with the Surging Storm, but that is 11,000 damage. Dia never stood a chance, but she does have the re-raise. Can Lastwell and Dia make a comeback here? This is going to be incredibly close. Lastwell going to go next. Standard attack will proc the Courage on the Esther. Can Dia somehow find this AoE angle? I don't think she has any diamonds in her kit, which means she goes Enhancer Slash, but doesn't realize that Hio has Courage, which means both of these 1 health Greatsword units are going to try and turn the table. Gloom Blade is enough to take out the Dia. It pops the barrier for Lastwell here. Marguerite going to come in with a Guard Haste to try and speed up this bunny, and Esther is ready to bring the pain. Stormbrand comes in. It's enough to one-shot the Lastwell, and Snark is going to be victorious in this one at the end here, guys. That was honestly a banger of a matchup. Well done by Snark and Moggen Man to put on an incredibly entertaining match. Even if it wasn't for the standings, it was a heck of a lot of fun. But the last fight that we have for you guys today is going to be for the first seed. We already know that Impaler has clinched the 2 seed, but Zeno and King are facing off for the 1 seed. The winner will take it. The winner will get a first round bye. Let's jump into it. Last fight of the Heindler League of the regular season, and this is a battle for the first seed here. We've got Kings, Kansas City Kings with his King Bradley. Yeah, I just said King a lot, but that is the Prince Montleonis alongside him, alongside Moore as well. And that is a triple Mace comp coming out from Polarity, coached by Zeno. Big old Magic Shield, not going to do a ton here unless Moore is trying to deal damage. But this Mace team is scary. We have seen it put in work for Zeno before, and we'll have to see how it goes. Ildira, thinking long and hard about this, makes me think that she's probably going with the Limit Break. Ildira's Theorem is going to come out, going to get that CT up on the party. It also nullifies so many statuses. And I've said this before, but the most underrated part about this is being able to debuff the Man-Eater on the other side. Can be pretty crucial in terms of mitigating damage from the other team. And there's just so many buffs coming out from this Maze team. You got the Ildira Limit Break, you've got the Calamity Guard, you've got Winter Wrath basically pumping up all her own stuff, as Prince Montleonis is going to walk forward as well. And the Moore is going to get off the Calamity Guard, but it only hits herself, unfortunately. So King's other members are not going to be caught by this. This is one of the more awkward things about Moore's AI, is that she is very offensive. And I take it back. It looks like that was not the Calamity Guard. That was the regen that she goes for. King Bradley going to buff. And it looks like Moore is going to start channeling another spell here. Ildira going to go Wake Up Impact. So maybe concerned about an evasion side coming out from King. He's going to go with the Elserel TMR to try and get the accuracy. And there is the Calamity Guard. It is hitting both her and also Mont as well. So there is the one-hit barrier on the tank, on the DPS / support Moore. But this is going to take a while for the damage to really start kicking off here, as it looks like Winter Wrath is going to go for the Dark Fina TMR. Going to lower some of that casting time. Also going to increase magic attack penetration. And how many actions will pass before the fight really starts to kick off here? Not any more, actually. It looks like Montleonis is able to find the Taunting Blade, able to gather a little more hate. Didn't really do any damage whatsoever to the Winter Wrath, but it's not really about that. It's about gathering the hate and making sure that everybody comes into him so that he can deal damage. Level 4 Water Go is going to come out from the Ildira. Just a little bit of chip onto the Mont here. Doesn't take a whole lot, but a befuddling Spearfall. Honestly, tanked pretty well by both Mont and the Moor, but I think the poison might have landed on the Moor. I'm going to have to double check that as the Calamity Guard comes out from the Kadia here. And it looks like no, poison did not land on Moor, so that's pretty huge. This looks like King Bradley going to hit that calculated rend. And good lord, that is a lot of AoE resistance on the side of Xeno. Light of Spell Ceiling going to come out from Moor, and Winter Wrath is just not taking damage. We have seen this before from this team. The amount of damage mitigation that they are able to pump out is just absolutely absurd. It makes you wonder how the hell you were supposed to get through this team, as Killer Drainblade going to hit for 1300, going to heal himself up just a little bit. But Winter Wrath is probably going to be able to take out the Mace user on the other side. This is going to be the befuddling Spearfall. Moore is going to go down, and King Bradley, does he have any way to deal damage here? With so much AoE res on the other side, it's going to be really, really tricky. He's going to go next. Helm Splitter comes out. Doesn't need the AoE resist to do that, but he is not able to take out the Ildira. If he was able to get that kill, maybe they could make a little bit of work out of this, but I think Ildira is just going to heal herself back up to full. This is the Height 2 Kiraga, and that is a fully healthy Mace team for Xeno. So Polarity looking in prime position here to try and win this fight and to try and take the first seed overall. Mystic Bind coming out from Winter Wrath, not a whole lot of damage, so King Bradley's still healthy. But again, how do you get through this Mace team? Killer Drainblade just doing a little bit, healing himself up. Banish coming out from Kadia. Even her is in offensive mode at this moment, as these three Mace girls are incredibly healthy. Helm Splitter still not enough to take out the Ildira. He is just barely shy of enough damage to one-shot, and that is massive because she's just going to keep doing this over and over. And this is going to be a slow bleed, unfortunately, here for King, but a huge thing for Xeno, as he can taste that one seed. It is in his sights. The Assault Blade does another 7k, but this Ildira just maintaining that health bar, as Kadia is going to pump that up all the way to full. Mont Leonis with basically no AP, I think is probably just going to go for a standard attack. He is going to do just that. Ildira doesn't even know what to do at this moment. She says, I'm already full, so I'm just going to go for a water gun. Mont is going to drop, and these Maze teams are absolutely ridiculous. Winter Wrath going to come out with the Magical Strike, 850 damage, and I will say, King Bradley doing a fantastic job of tanking up damage, but he just can't do enough. It's not something you often say about King Bradley, but that is the situation that we are in. Calculated Ren going to hit all three. Winter Wrath, just for her trouble, going to get that reaction to heal herself back up to full. Kadia is going to pump it up, and without healing power down, this Mace team is just absolutely ridiculous. Height 2 Holy is going to proc the Courage. The CT up on Bradley, so he gets one more turn, but there is just no way. Assault Blade finally doing a ton of damage to the Winter Wrath. Where was that 9k earlier onto her, as the Great Storm Typhon Esper is going to come out. It is going to stun him. It is going to kill him. And we have a first seed winner. We have Polarity, coached by Xeno, claiming the 1 seed. Huge congratulations, as he will have a first round bye heading into the playoffs. All right, guys, 9 weeks of battles are done for this Heindler League, and we will see what the playoff bracket looks like in a moment here. But we've got Xeno, coach of Polarity, officially clinching that first seed with the win over King this week. A very huge win for him, as that means he has one less best of 3 that he has to get through to try and clinch a spot in next season's Champions League. Impaler, coach of Three-Legged Pants, also has a first round bye, so he is in a very good position as well. King of the Kansas City Kings and Dawn of Inquisition, both currently sitting at 8 and 3, are the 3 and 4 seed respectively, and Kayuma of Seas and Odaiba Diver of Odaiba Diving School are the 5 and 6 seed respectively. And taking a look at the standings here, it is very, very interesting, as our top 2 are 9 and 2, 3rd and 4th are 8 and 3, and 5 and 6 are 7 and 4. So a nice little just slow going down in terms of the records. We've got Lucian Rams of Lone Shadows currently sitting at 6 and 5, Snark of Arise from the Crashes, Moggan Man of Dirty Slushy both at 4 and 7, and Dr. Ticket of the Knobgowns of 3 and 8. Before we take a look at the playoff bracket, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of these players in this league. Thank you for being patient, and thank you for participating this season. I know things didn't go exactly how we planned in this league. We had multiple people who ended up dropping out during the middle of the season. I know that can be a bit of a bummer, especially for the players who are participating, as there's a couple times you might not even get to battle in that week, and I know that can be a bit of a bummer, and so I apologize for any of those players who missed out on some of that during this season. But thank you for being patient with me with some of the decisions that I had to make regarding the standings with those 2 players dropping out, and just thank you for being good people, and I appreciate it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the playoff bracket. So here's the playoff bracket for the Season 4 Heindler Cup, and the final 2 teams who meet in the grand finals will qualify for Season 5 Champions League. these 6 teams are the ones competing for it. We've got the 4 and 5 seed matchup, Dawn of Inquisition and Kayuma of Seas facing off against each other. The winner of that match will be Xeno, coach of Polarity. This is an interesting matchup because even though Dawn has a better record and the better seed, I do believe Kayuma won that head-to-head earlier in the season, so maybe not the dream scenario for Dawn here. As it looks like on the bottom, King, coach of Kansas City Kings, and Odaiba Diver of Odaiba Diving School, I think is the exact same situation. I think Odaiba actually won that head-to-head. So both teams, the higher seeds, have a better record, but are facing off against each other, I believe, who actually beat them head-to-head during the regular season. So both of these best of 3s should be really, really interesting. But yeah, Xeno waiting on Dawn and Kayuma, and Impaler waiting on King and Odaiba Diver. Obviously, those first-round buys looking really, really important for these 2 teams, as it's just one less best of 3 that you have to go through. Again, for those 2 teams, it's one simple best of 3 win, and you are in the Champions League for next season. So it should be really interesting, guys. So it's been fun. We're down to 6 teams, and I'm excited to see who will be winning the Heindler Cup at the end of it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.